이것도 박수인가요?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back, my Broodwar brothers, to another fresh season of the KCM. Starting off season 2 of 2022 now. Been quite a while since I did my last cast. I was sick last week. I had the Novid, which means you get all the symptoms of COVID besides losing your sense of taste and smell. And you never test positive. I don't know what the heck it was, but it pretty much ruined me for a whole week. I wasn't really able to speak well. My throat was all sore. I was messed up, dude. But I'm feeling better now. It was a good timing. It was good timing considering that the end of KCM had already happened, and we were in a bit of a break period there. I wanted to get to the ladies KCM. I think I still might go back and do that a little later, but for now we're gonna start off this new season. We've got a great lineup here for the first week. There it is. Oh my god. Why on earth is it so small? Don't know what happened there. We've got Sharp Light Barracks, Bisu Mini Snow Action, Jaedong, and Shine. We got Jaedong starting things off against Barracks. Honestly, I'm very biased here right now. I really want Jaedong to win against Barracks, and I think he stands a good chance of doing so. For selfish reasons, though, I want to see Jaedong go up against Mini or Bisu or Light, Sharp. All of those are great matchups. I want to see how Jaedong is developing right now. He didn't do as great as we had expected in this previous ASL. Of course, expectations are high when you're one of the best Zerg players of all time, but underperforming a little bit. He is still shaking off the rust here, but expecting big things from him in the future. Maybe a ASL championship or two. I don't think anybody would be surprised if Jaedong was able to pull that off, but especially when Flash is not around. It's time to shine, really. So see how he develops over this season of KCM and into the next season of ASL. So far, starting off here with the 12 hatch, directly into gas and spawning pool. Starting to look like a 2-hatch muta play here, but Barracks is going to put on the pressure. 2 SCVs are present. A lot of drones will have to be pulled here to defeat this bunker rush. Good control so far, just surrounding and dealing as much damage to that bunker as possible. Pulling away as soon as these Marines arrive. Another drone from behind here, but Barracks has found a nice little place to tuck his Marines. Oh, good surround. Oh, one drone does fall, but that Marine was picked off, and the Lings are now out. So all he needs to do is right-click his mineral patches, send all the drones home, and this is completely held. Nice job by Jaedong so far. To pick off this SCV potentially as well. Oh, he's going to chase that down. He doesn't want to give away full information of what's going on back at home to his opponent. He wants to make sure that Barracks is in the dark here a little bit, sending everything back home. He doesn't know if there's another wave of Lings coming. Of course, he is behind that wall in, so he doesn't need to worry about that too much. Does have to prepare his aerial defenses here, though, because Jaedong is quickly taking up into Spire here. Oh, no second gas. What does this mean? No, he's gonna start the second gas. Excuse me, no. I'm reading into this a little bit too much. It's been a while since I've watched professional Starcraft, maybe about 2 weeks. I know that sounds like an excuse, and it is. But the second gas should be thrown down here immediately after the Spire. And it does get thrown down, so he is going to hatch muta. hanging out here in the front, making sure that scouting SCV can't get his work done. Jaedong sending out the drone. Drone on its way to take that third base. Oh, great pickoff there. Just Slowlings catching that SCV easily at the front. Snags that. Not going to reveal any information here to Barracks about what the play is. I think he should have a pretty good idea, though. Especially once this ComSat comes up. We will be knowing exactly what's going on in the Zerg base. The third comes down in the top right-hand corner again. Not sure if I mentioned this before. We are on Vermeer. 4-player map. Hasn't made any difference thus far, considering all we've had is a bunker rush, but the shape of this map is now going to come into play here. That base in the top right is on high ground. You can play a very normal style of Zerg here, get your mutas out, and eventually transition into lurkers on that high ground to hold your third base while you tech into Defiler and eventually take your fourth. Kind of moving the game slowly over into Ultralist tech. That would be the standard way to play this out, assuming that Barracks manages to hold on against Jaedong's incredible Mutalist control. He's well known for this. Kind of a revolutionizer of this Mutalist handling. The way that he moves has been studied by Zerg players throughout different generations of Broodwar play. See how much damage he can get done here against Barracks. One of the newer players that we have in our roster has grown up, has evolved, and learned this game with this Mutalist play ever present in his Terran versus Zerg games. 3 SCVs being picked off. Not a bad start to this harassment. A lot of turrets placed in this natural, and you can see the difficulty of placing turrets here. Can't really get a whole lot of turrets here, but it seems like Barracks has done a good job of placing those so that it's not disrupting the mining too badly. There are 2 low mineral patches though in that natural. You can see the 2 mineral patches which are closest to the wall are going to force SCVs to even run behind there. Look at the SCVs running behind the mineral patches. Those are so easy to pick off here for this clump of Muta. Right now Jaedong focusing though on lowering the number of Marines here at the front. We'll be able to jump in here and kill a couple of them, even just by bouncing glaives off of the supply depot. Getting a few kills that way. But he needs to be worried about this Marine Medic Ball right now. His base in the upper right has no defense. If Barracks breaks off 3-4 Marines and just runs up towards that base, he could end up losing a lot. So far though, Barracks just wants to keep his whole Marine Medic group together. Stimming up, he's ready to fight here, but Jaedong has the Lings to buffer the damage if he decides to dive on this Marine Medic Ball. I'm not sure if Barracks will survive. He's not sure either. He's going to head back towards his natural for his next wave of reinforcements. As Jaedong transitions into the Lurker play, that Hydralisk Den is done. Lurker should be on the way here shortly. Still producing the mutas, but he has that third gas now. Mining healthily here. Should have no problem transitioning into Lurker. Barracks has, I believe, 4 or 5 barracks in his main base. He's grabbing his factory. We'll see what he wants to pop out of the starport first here. Will it be a direct tank into Science Vessel, or does he want to get a couple of drop ships out to try and pressure either the main or the third? Time will tell here. Eric's still juking back and forth. He hasn't been able to put on a whole lot of pressure to Jaedong so far. But conversely, Jaedong hasn't been able to harass the economy much of his Terran opponent. Looks like he's getting ready to do so now. Gonna dive in forward here as the lurker eggs are morphing. Two groups of Muta dive straight into this natural and kill both of the turrets here, or all three of the turrets, excuse me, and threaten this economy of barracks very, very strongly. A strong position here for Jaedong, forcing all of the Marine medic to respond. Hive is already on the way, and Jaedong in firm control of this game. He's killed so many workers so far, and he's going to continue to kill more. That low mineral patch is so painful here. He's trying to cover his SCVs with that factory. A couple of mutas being baited into the natural just get annihilated, but Jaedong's got his lurkers out now. He's well defended. He still has quite a few mutas to play around with here, and they're going to begin to lose value here pretty soon, so he might as well get as much damage as he can with them. Getting a few more marine kills. His marines lining up pretty nicely, spraying them down with the hold position micro. Really great micro here from Jaedong. He's killed so many marines behind the mineral patches. It's kind of insane. Nidus Canal coming down now. The first defiler should be popping out momentarily. There's the first science vessel. Finally, barracks will be able to push away these mutalisks here behind the natural and should be able to get out on the map. But has he lost too much? He's actually fallen behind in supply to Jaedong, who's adding on even more hatches. He's getting into his late game. And with two more hatches coming down, I'm wondering now, is he actually going to go into Ultralist Tech, or does he want to start popping out tons of Hydras? Hydra Defiler can be really, really good. Quite a few Hydras that are already out here. I'm not sure if he wants to make that transition or not. But with two additional hatches in the main, it could point towards Hydra Defiler. It could also point towards Mass Speedling, just using up that gas on Ultra and spending all the rest of the money, all of the minerals into crackling. Ultra crackling is totally the final stage of Zerg versus Terran. He's continuing to make lurker eggs. No defiler just yet. Where is this defiler? Consume should be almost ready. Jaedong has a lot of mutalisks left over, using them for drop defense right now. Over there in the main, keeping himself alive. Here's that first dropship, double dropship, about to come out, and Jaedong is completely ready for this. The fourth base is being taken. The moment that Jaedong grabs that base, he'll be ready for an Ultra's transition if that's truly the way he wants to go. Barracks heading towards that fourth. He needs to deny something here, and this is kind of his big hoorah moment here. Can he actually get out and do something with these four dropships, or will they be shut down? If he manages to do insane damage with this, oh my god, that is horrible. Defiler running through the middle of the map just gets annihilated along with two lurkers as well. Not a good start here for Jaedong when it comes to dealing this damage. Oh, driving in. Oh, driving into the main. Big drop here, but that's so many mutas that are left over in the main. They're just going to clean this up along with the links that are popping. A plague goes down on these marines as well. They are going to pop like cherries. Red little cherries here in the back, getting smacked. Another drop maybe gonna come through? No. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Jaedong just had an incredible amount of drop defense in the main. He's going to try and break this natural. No Defiler is present. How many lurkers are in this stack? Not many. He just plows right through this. Jaedong not ready for this attack. There's another drop here in the main as well, and Jaedong not reacting. So many drones going down here. He's desperately trying to hold on to his fourth, but he's losing an incredible amount in this main base as well, with Mutas just sitting over by the edge of the main, not defending this area. Oh god, Jaedong just falling apart here. Finally, he notices this attack in the main, but he's lost so much. And the fourth base does go down as well. Oh, this is so painful. Jaedong had this in the bag, I feel, but I lost control suddenly to the pressure here of Barracks. All credit goes to Barracks, of course, just jumping into the main and natural multiple times, throwing off his Terran or his Zerg opponent, excuse me. Takes advantage, kills off all the drones. Man, that's every single drone is dead right now in this main. The Ultralisk Cavern is here, but the fourth gas is no longer. And Barracks is now exceeding his opponent in supply. I really thought that Barracks was going to flounder there after the failed drop attempt in the main. But Jaedong just didn't have the Defiler at the fourth base ready to defend that area, and the simultaneous drop as well. He's taken so much damage. Can he recover? These dropships are still present. Quite a few science vessels have been picked off, but there's still enough to irradiate all of these lurkers here. The third base. Drops are coming in. Scourge are ready, though. Will he be able to hold on in the main here? He burrows underground with the Defiler, and he picks off one of these dropships, but the rest of the dropships do unload. He's going to run behind. It was a good Dark Swarm there to keep the drones alive at least. He cannot be taking any more economic damage at this point. He cleans up the rest of this drop, but he still doesn't get that fourth base down. Time is really running out here for Jaedong to get that fourth up, because the science vessel count will continue to grow here. Nice play. Doing his best. Oh, okay. One lurker under Dark Swarm does clean up that fire bat. I thought he was going to get in there and get some good hits. Another drop coming through here. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that oh, he's going to get this hit as well. Nice. Picking off that dropship is huge. He needs to get these science vessels as well. Going for the science vessels would be huge here. What are these doing? Oh my goodness. Oh man, Jaedong just falling apart. Where are all of the units? He's got to defend this mineral line. This is his last mineral line. Oh, Lurker's just not quick enough. And he's gonna scan and kill this Lurker as well. Oh, Barracks taking full control here. A Defiler in the middle of the map trying to make its way over towards that third, maybe to create some sort of distraction and prevent Barracks from continuously diving into his third base. Where are the Scourge here? He really needs Scourge to deal with the science vessels that are out on the map. He's spending all of his gas right now into those lurkers that he was never able to get out earlier. He did finally get them out, though. We'll see where he decides to send them. This is everything that Jaedong's been saving has gone into these Ultra. He has the upgrades. So much money has been spent here to get this going. He needs to get out on the map and actually deal some damage to Barracks. He needs to get that fourth base up at the same time as well. He's decided to take a 4th and 5th base actually at the same time. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Jaedong just needs a gas somewhere. If he manages to get one of these 2 gases up, he may still have a hope in this game, but for now, Barracks in full control. He has a 4th base up as well. He's got a huge group of science vessels. He's got triple science vessel production right now. He has so many barracks producing marine medic, and he's gonna start to pressure up here in the top right once again. An eraser trick gonna come through. The lack of Scourge is really hurting Jaedong now. He burrows his drones though and manages to save the majority of them. Big surround here with the Ultra as well. Scourge flying in too, gonna pick off a ton of these science vessels. Huge win for Jaedong. The surround was critical there, trapping Barracks at that ramp, crushing his army and killing off a crazy amount of science vessels. Those Ultra that I talked about earlier, the ones that needed to get their damage in, the ones that needed to be put into full use, did their job. They got their value, and now they've shut down this base at the top center. Oh, Dark Swarm, nice, that goes down. We get another vessel kill. He needs to stay underneath this Dark Swarm though. Big plague on all of the Marines. This group of Ultra hitting the hitting the 3rd base, excuse me. Battle cruisers are here though, and the Defiler is now dead. These Ultra gonna have to run. Nice Dark Swarm once again. These Marines are so low, they've been plagued. All of them gonna go down to the Cracklings. The medics get picked off as well, and Jaedong hangs on, just barely managing to get up his 4th gas now, finally mining from that location, adding on more and more bases. He's seized the initiative back, and he's starting to pressure Barracks once again. That base has landed here. 3rd base reestablished for Barracks. 4th base as well being landed. The battle cruisers are a threat. A fly here into the upper right base, that natural. Start to deal some damage, put the pressure on Jaedong, but since they're not present here, Jaedong gonna take the opportunity to do a little counterattack. Scourge and Muta are ready. Marines are all clumped up here with a good medic wall, but is there a Defiler? Ooh, not paying attention to these battle cruisers at all. All of them are gonna go down. There is a Dark Swarm, and Jaedong gonna run through these Marines. GG, Jaedong makes the comeback. Barely able to snake this one out. Gets the clapper from KCM. Oh man, I really thought Jaedong was about to go down there. He was hanging on so well, but when he lost his 4th base, he was nearly out of that game, but he just barely manages to get about 4 Ultras out on the field with their upgrades and surround that Marine Medic force. Pick that off, pick off all the science vessels, and take control of that game. Great job, Jaedong. Let's go on into our 2nd game. Alright, diving into our 2nd game. Got Bisu versus Jaedong. I got my wish, guys. I got my wish. Jaedong made it through. Now we're gonna get to see this classic matchup. Match that's been played 1,000 times on and off of the big stage. Jaedong versus Bisu. Bisu spawning here in the top left. He's going to start off with a Nexus first into Forge. Jaedong with that 12 hatch. Everything looking normal here. Good setup for a great Zerg versus... What the hell? Right as I say it, a huge pull of workers going across the map. A gateway comes up, no cannon started. Oh my god, Bisu has no idea that there's a drone here right now. A drone line coming across the map. He's looking at that drone in the third, trying to deal with that. He's gonna kill this cannon and start some lings, send them across the map. Could go after the pylon as well. Yes, he will go after this pylon. He's gonna have to fight some probes. He's looking for a good angle. Just trying to slow this down. The lings have arrived. Lings are here with the drone. Should be able to fight these, no problem. Going after the probes. Is gonna kill this cannon right off the bat. The other cannon that is higher on the HP is getting hit by 2 lings. That's enough to take it down. It goes down. Jaedong gonna be the winner here. Wow, we're not gonna get an epic game between Jaedong and Bisu. You can't win them all, guys. I got my wish. I got to see Jaedong versus Bisu, but it turned out like that. Look at that's my face right now. KCM. Mirroring my emotions exactly. What a game. All right, we're gonna go on to our number 3. Okay, it's with a heavy heart we've crossed Bisu off the list. This week's roster getting thinner and thinner. 2 kills already here for Jaedong. He's going up against Sharp next. Here on Eclipse, Sharp is in the top right. Jaedong in the bottom left. Hopefully we'll get some more gameplay out of these two. Bisu just getting super greedy. Nexus first, Forge into Gateway, then Cannon. And that is some mega greed. Doesn't get much more greedy than that for sure. So Sharp not gonna make the same mistakes here, hopefully. A spawning pool coming out of Jaedong. That's Overlord into spawning pool, also known as the Overpool. A relatively normal build. I mean, it's not as standard as 12 hatch, but it does allow you to get a few extra lings out in the early game if you choose. Slows down your hatch by a bit, but you're not going to be vulnerable in the same way to some sort of early bunker rush. Which is completely possible on this map. It's very, very hard to scout all the locations where bunkers or barracks can potentially be thrown down in the middle of the map. There's 3 different pathways, so there's plenty of places to throw those down. I'm just gonna take the safe route here. Send a scout out as well. Sees that there is a wall here and that the Marine is yet to start, so he can forego his lings, building lings if he chooses. Yeah, he's built 4 so far, 6 actually. Maybe a slight overmaking of those lings, because I don't think he can get literally any damage done here as long as the SCV is standing in that little nook with 2 Marines behind. Not really going to be a possibility. Even has a second SCV to repair. Yeah, nothing going to happen there for Jaedong. So 6 ling investment, bit of a waste. 3rd base is coming down early though. Jaedong going for a quick 3 base. Could be signaling a potential Hydralisk play here. Hydralisk Defiler, very, very strong on this map. One of my favorite things to cast, actually. I love watching Hydralisk Defiler games. It's a big sort of difference, or what would you say, divergence from the traditional metagame between Zerg and Terran, but I find it so fun to watch and to cast. It's to me it feels like the pinnacle kind of what these two races are about is just huge DPS and very brittle units. You've got your Marines, your siege tanks. They do crazy DPS, but they die so incredibly fast. And of course, Hydralisk, they have crazy high attack speed, and they can come out in such huge numbers, but they do die very quickly as well. That's why you need the Dark Swarms, you need the Defilers to throw down Plagues as well, and then the Hydras can just pop those tiny little Marines like Zits, blow them off the map. It's just a lot of fun to watch. It's a crazy way to play. And so far, Jaedong hasn't spotted this move out from Sharp. Could be a problem here. Actually, now he does see it with the Overlord. Overlord in a good position here. He's going to lift off that. Going for the Overlord. Nice one. Going to pick that off. But the Overlord does do his job. He sees the number of Marines there. He sees that move out as well. There's a Firebat being prepared. Jaedong going to try and surround this army. Can he actually get this good surround? He's going for it. Really good surround here from Jaedong, but the Firebat doing so much damage. Huge amounts of blood surrounding this small Marine army, but most of that being Zerg and Zergling blood. Oh man, that was brutal. Just that one Firebat helping out so much to crush that army. Now he needs to go into sunken defense. It would be so much better if he'd spent those larvae into drones and then just relied on the sunken defense here, but he really wanted to try and surround an army. That way you can forego the sunkens and just go straight into Muta, but it's not going to happen here. Second sunken in the natural is not done yet. Sharp could think about attacking into there, but the Mutas are on the way, and Sharp just going to back off. Happy with the fact that Jaedong was forced to build 3 sunkens total. We'll just go on back home. Mutas are now popping. No third gas just yet. I'm studying this build carefully from Jaedong. See how he transitions here. Gonna continue to add on drones now that his Mutas are out. Slow trickle of Mutas should be coming up as well. Jaedong wants to get that economy in a good position where he can add on additional hatcheries here, assuming he is going for the Defiler Hydralisk play. Queen's Nest already on the way. I think this is what it's going to be. But that's such an early Queen's Nest. It's either... No, it can't be. I was thinking possibility for Crazy Zerg, straight rush into Ultra, but I don't see an Evolution Chamber. Evolution Chamber should have been down quite a while ago, starting that Carapace upgrade if that's what he wanted to go for. I think it is going to be the Hydra play here, guys. Once again, 2 low mineral patches in this natural. I'm going to be taking advantage of those, picking off quite a few of these SCVs, and it appears this is becoming more popular. I mean, we've seen both Sharp and Barracks tried this play by putting the factory over top of the SCVs on those mineral patches, trying to block the shots from Mutalisk. I've always thought about this, lifting off a building and trying to spot over the wall so that the Mutas can't get free hits, but the traditional thinking has always been that the Mutas will just shoot at that flying building and bounce the glaives onto your SCVs and turrets and all that and just deal free damage. But the way that he's using it right now, I feel like this might be a new thing. This might be a popular, a new meta thing that maybe more Terrans will start to do. floating their factory to block the mineral patches, not allow targeting of their SCVs on some of those more difficult to defend mineral patches. Good engagement here from Jaedong. He's hitting him on the ramp, using that high ground to deal a lot of damage here to this first wave of Marine Medic. Start pushing forward, but his Marine Medic is far dwindled down. Now, I feel like Sharp, he's the type of guy who gets into early dropships here. I doubt that he's just going to go straight into some science vessels. He wants to deal damage to his opponent. He likes these crazy games. He likes to go wild and try to end the game early. Not really one to play super long games, but he does pop out a science vessel. Okay, going straight into science vessel. Maybe he has figured out what's going on here. He knows that this is going to be a Hydra game. He's also brought his factory back. Might be time to start adding on tanks here as well. Well, the third base hasn't quite started yet. Moving towards this third of Jaedong, the lurkers burrow just in time. Gonna stack those up so they can't be easily irradiated. He has drop defense prepared. His lurkers are going to be stacked, and he's ready to try and hit these science vessels if possible. Everything looking good here for Jaedong so far. We'll see if he can hold on. We've seen him make some missteps in mid-game previously, but this is a much tighter defense here with just these three bases all right next to each other. Drop defense is much easier. You can swing back and forth with your Muta Scourge between these three bases very quickly and defend very easily. He's taking out his mutas though and running across the map, but he's realized there's no dropships coming. Gonna try to get up here and deal damage to this third base. The bunker is almost done though, and there is a science vessel, so I'm not sure whether he can actually break through this. The irradiate will be huge here. Okay, one irradiate does go down. It is defended well by Jaedong. There's the factory out in the middle of the map. What's that doing there? Another irradiate. Two more irradiates go down. Eating two irradiates onto these mutas is not the worst thing in the world for Jaedong. Those are irradiates wasted onto mutas that are not really going to deal much damage here for the future. A drone getting down into the top left does get picked off there. Two more hatches have been completed and double evolution chambers ready, so Jaedong is prepared for Hydra Defiler play. Throw down his first Dark Swarm of the game, pushing back these Marines as much as possible. Doesn't manage to get any of the science vessels. Great targeting by Sharp to just pick those off. He will continue to shark around the map looking for more kills. Goes for the irradiate on the Hydra. You can just target your own Hydra here or build a lurker. That's fine too. Can also consume that irradiated Hydra. Like first, that very first plague went down, and this base is gonna get taken out. Plague on these Marines makes them very, very squishy, so you could absolutely take those down. Jaedong supply still quite a bit lower than Sharp, so we'll be looking to see that rise mightily here in the next few minutes as the additional hatches start to kick in. You don't need that much gas to produce mass Hydra. With a few lurkers and defilers mixed in, lings as well, you can just build up a massive army on 3 gas. He's gonna go after the science vessel as well. Science vessel being mismanaged here by Sharp, and some Scourge coming forward. Can they get the connections? This is a big moment here for Jaedong. If he can pick off more of these science vessels, it's going to really help him in the future and make things very hard for Sharp. You've got to have those irradiates ready for these defilers. No way this science vessel that was in the back just about got picked off by the Hydra and still got an irradiate down on a full energy defiler. That is crazy. That is ridiculous. That actually got killed, but it does go down. Now Jaedong gonna have to push forward here and look for that fourth base. Gets the irradiate, but loses his defiler. Nice pick off there by Sharp. Pushing everything back here. Hydras are out in force. +1/+1 is done, and range plus speed also ready. What was that? What was that plague? Holy cow. That plague made no sense whatsoever. 2 dropships coming in. Where are they going to go? Dropships being spotted here. Sharp going to pick off that Hydra and go for the main. Can he actually get some damage done here? There aren't many Hydras in position, and the Scourge are sorely lacking. Hydras are pretty decent against Marines in low numbers, but these Firebats are going to go to work on the drone line. Drones running away here. Not far enough, though. They need to get the heck out of there. Make a run for the hills. No, going into the corner here is going to lose a bunch of them. 3 or 4 go down immediately. Jaedong making a counterattack happen right now, sending a big army across the map. He will clean up the main and start to defend here in the natural as well. Bunch of Marines just going into these lurkers here, end up getting picked off. Sharp sitting on 3 bases. Equal bases, not the worst thing in the world for Jaedong right now, and is still doable here. But he needs to stabilize. He needs to get some more defilers out and pick off some more of these science vessels as well. Maybe get a big plague on some of these science vessels would be amazing. Or Scourge picking them off is fine as well. But he needs to protect these defilers. That's really the big strength of this play, is that you are usually able to protect your defilers a little bit better than when you only have Scourge, Ling, and Ultra. With the Hydras, it's not possible to just fly over with these science vessels and get free irradiates. You can see he's just gonna get a couple of irradiates off, but he loses a science vessel. Jaedong just picks off his own Hydra, kills his own Hydra, doesn't manage to save his defiler, but a lot of irradiates were used there on just a few Hydras. Hydras are very cheap units, much cheaper on gas than defilers, which is where you really want to target your irradiates here as the Terran player. But you'll gladly take those losses there, I think, as Jaedong. A couple of Hydras for some irradiates is fine. Here comes a double drop down towards that 4th base. We'll see if Jaedong can hold on here. He needs a Dark Swarm to hold against these Marines. He also needs another group of Hydra on this left side to stop the drop from coming down as well. Drop's going to target the hatch, and hatch does go down. Very painful for Jaedong. More drop action going here in this 3rd base. Gonna deal a whole lot of damage to this drone line here. More drones here in the main, or in the, excuse me, the rally point here. Going to be lost. And Sharp is starting to take full control of this game. Jaedong just running back and forth, trying to hold on against it. Overlords flying out to their death at the natural there, just flowing towards that rally point and getting picked off. Not going to supply block Jaedong just yet, but maybe this attack from Jaedong could do something here. No, ton of tanks back at home. They're not ready to deal any actual damage to actually attack with these tanks, but they are ready for the defense. Gonna prevent Defiler Hydra from denying any bases here on the side of Sharp. Jaedong has his Ultraless Cavern, but what can he do with that right now? I feel like he just needs to focus on his Hydra Ling production and getting his Defilers out, getting those good plagues down. He finally clears up that small contingent of Marine Medic at his rally. And he's prevented any additional bases from going down for Sharp, but he's yet to secure that fourth. That all-important fourth base for Jaedong is still elusive here. I don't think he can afford to fight off this army and build Ultra right now, or buy Ultra upgrades. He's got to deal with this with just Hydra, Lurker, Ling, and Defiler. Where is the Darkstorm? There it is. Darkstorm does go down. We need to see a huge plague here as well, but Sharp just spreads his army so nicely. He's going to get a good Irradiate down as well and deal with that Defiler. Now, no good plague will end up coming down here. It's very frustrating for Jaedong right now, trying to defend against this fourth base take from Sharp, but Sharp with the big tank movement heading up towards this base, he will not be denied. He's going to get a fourth at the same exact time as Jaedong takes his own fourth, which is not ever a good situation. Defiler's making their way up. Can he actually get something going here? He gets 2 science vessels. Nice. Picking up those science vessels is huge. All of these links will be picked off, though, under the Dark Storm. They're still vulnerable to the splash damage. Ultras are finally out. He's got some of the upgrades here. He's got the Carapace. He doesn't have the speed. And he has that 4th gas down now, but I don't know about this transition. Sticking with Hydra Ling, I feel might be better than just having a couple of Ultra mixed into a small Hydra Ling army. 2 more science vessels go down. A great plague. There's the plague that we've been waiting for. Massive plague goes down there. Looks like a Radiate trick. Oh, good burrow. Damn, Jaedong's been great with burrow this previous series, man. He's been doing so good with it, denying these eraser tricks over and over again. It's something that so few good Zerg players actually utilize, but it can absolutely save you the game. If he got his entire natural mineral line wiped out there, he would have been in huge trouble. And now those 2 vessels get nothing. They end up going down as well. So just sacrificial vessels there, only slowing down the mining in Jaedong's natural by a little bit. That is some good counterplay from Jaedong, and you might as well get that upgrade anyway, right? The burrow upgrade is so cheap when you get to these positions. It's like 100 gas, 100 mineral, something like that. But it just makes all the difference in the world. So glad to see him doing that. Now getting a counterattack going here, getting a couple of kills on tanks, but will be pushed back. These ultras have been irradiated, I think, twice already, so they should be getting very low on that HP. Another base going down in the top left. If Jaedong could hold that base in the top left, he would be in a good position, but Sharp not going to allow that to happen. I think really the only possible base here, the really likely base that Jaedong will be able to hold, is somewhere down in the bottom right. That's really the only feasible location can be taken right now. Yeah, that was the second time those Ultralists had been irradiated, so they do both go down in the bottom right, and Sharp gonna take control over that area. Drones being transferred here. Jaedong still just barely holding on. Sharp is completely maxed out. He's got a massive army. He's about to bring down on the 4th base of Jaedong. Jaedong's got nothing here. Where is Jaedong's army? His Nidus Canal is going to go down. His base is going to fall. This is a huge mistake from Jaedong, who just didn't have the army in position. Is going to be a quick focus here from Sharp. He sacrifices a small portion of his maxed out army and kills this base. Now Jaedong kind of forced here to counterattack, I feel. And that's exactly what Sharp wants him to do. He wants him to file his Ultra Ling into this area. He wants him to come over here and just attack and lose all of his Ultra Ling. And then Sharp will be able to easily take this game. It's difficult to attack with tanks when you have defilers throwing down Darkstorm. It's just it's not great. It's cumbersome, right? So he wants He really wants the Zerg to just attack him. And he's going to start this push now. We'll see how it goes. Jaedong didn't take the bait, though. He's still got this base kind of running here. Halfway. But he is going to be forced to abandon it. He takes the base down in the bottom right instead. And this is getting worse and worse for Jaedong, honestly. He's going to pull off this counterattack. At least start it off anyway, but looks like all of the ultras have been cleaned at the cost of only a few very replaceable at this point tanks. As Sharp has a huge bank. He's got 14k minerals, or excuse me, 1.5k minerals, 2,500 gas as well. Another Nidus gets picked off. And this is looking worse and worse for Jaedong here. He's going to run straight into this third base, start to deal as many drone kills as he can. Jaedong, really rough situation here as he picks off a small contingent of Sharp's massive force, dropping him only to 180 supply, whereas Jaedong all the way down to just 80 supply here, focusing down individual drones during this fight. Sharp is on fire right now, sending a huge army down towards the bottom right. This is the last bastion for Jaedong. This is the last hope for him, and GG is called. Finally, he does tap out. Sharp gonna win this round, and he will go on to fight that next Protoss player. He gets the thumbs up from KCM. The rare thumbs up. Great job, Sharp. Beating out Jaedong in a very long macro game there. Rare we get really good long macro games on Eclipse. It generally comes down to the taking of that fourth base, especially when we have those Hydraless builds. Either the Terran player gets in there and denies that fourth, or the Zerg player grabs that fourth, powers up into just massive maxed out Ling, Hydra, Defiler, Lurker army, and crushes through the tanks of the Terran player. Rare that we have that much back and forth, but it was a great game, as expected of Jaedong. Sharp does move on, though. Let's go ahead and jump into our next game. Sad to see Jaedong go out there, but Sharp has just been on fire lately, man. Just on fire. Carrying in the KCM finals this previous season. Been playing like an absolute god, and that last game was no exception. Really didn't see any holes in his game there for Jaedong to exploit. Every counterattack was dealt with. His tank production was on point. His denial of bases was perfect. It looks like Mini gonna try and cheese him out here. How's his cheese defense? It'll be the next test here for Sharp. This super early pylon in the front of Sharp's natural here on Butter. Believe that's the name of this map. Been a little while. I think it's Butter, right? Be surprised if it wasn't. Looks like he's gonna get a gateway in the natural. Crazy pressure gonna be coming here from Mini as he starts to harass these SCVs. That gateway is already halfway done, and Sharp gonna pull the boys. Can he actually stop this gateway from producing a zealot here? The probe is trying to do everything he can to stop these SCVs from getting on top of this. He is blocking quite a lot with the mineral walking. He's not doing a great job of actually killing these SCVs. 4, 5 SCVs are hitting this, and he is now really blocking these quite well. Is he going to get this zealot out or not? This is rough. Looking very rough for Mini. Ooh, it's so close. Where is that zealot? Zealot's got to be popping out here in a second. Oh, man. No zealot. Oh, that's so frustrating. Mini gonna start a Nexus immediately. And where does he go from here? That was a brutal denial there of the cheese. Sharp's holding of the cheese so far on point. Looking good. He has to start this pylon back at home before he can even get that gateway as well. That is... Oof, that is bad news here. Mini in a whole hell of a lot of trouble. Gets that first gateway. I feel like you build 2 gateways here no matter what, right? Because Sharp is going to have 3 Marines already. And if he pulls the SCVs once again and just goes across the map, couldn't he easily kill this? Looks like Mini doing everything he can to get this moving shot going, but he is going to miss it. Wait, oh, he does have it, but not in time to prevent the scouting of this Nexus. The gateway's not done. The Marines are coming. The boys have been pulled. Sharp is going for it. No Zealot out just yet. He's just going to wait for these SCVs to come. Mini pulling his probes as well. God, I feel like he should have built a second gateway here because it's going to be so hard with just a single Zealot to hold this off. Nearly, I think, impossible. Oh, man, he should have... There's just so many things that he could have done differently here. Maybe build a forge, try to do a hold with some cannons or something, but right now he's in so much trouble. He's trying to get the probe into the mineral line of his opponent's natural. He does get it, so he can get this mineral walk here, but that's around on the Zealot. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Sharp is just way too good right now. He surrounds and kills that Zealot immediately. Zealot didn't even get a single attack off. And all the probes are pretty much dead now. He is pulling these SCVs away at least. And another Zealot is popping out here. So maybe I'm overestimating Sharp's position here. He killed quite a few probes, but he also lost the majority of his Marines. There's a Nexus out here. That Nexus is done. The factory just now starting up. So I guess Mini is going to be okay here, just barely. He's a slight bit behind. Of course, you can see that supply in favor of Sharp, which is not usually how things are supposed to go here in the early game. It should be the early supply lead to Mini, the Protoss player, but he's going to hold on. He's going to make this a game. Still no second gateway, just that one pumping out Dragoons for now. Going to be focusing on catching up with those probes. Pylons are coming down as well. No Vulture out on the map just yet, so Mini can still push forward here. We'll force the bunker at least. Oh, running a bit too close. They're going to take the shield damage. Takes all the shields away there from Mini. And Sharp just going to play this out nice and slow from this position. He knows he's in a good lead. Just going to get into a third factory right off the bat. This is going to be just a straight 3 factory push. It very well could be. Mini is going into, looks like, a Reaver here. I can't imagine him going into Observer right now because he needs something to bring himself back. Full scout from Sharp. He manages to sneak by. He will spot the robotics. Poor Bay. Oh, that's just so painful for Mini right now because he's already in such a deficit. He would love for Sharp to have to build things that he doesn't need, like defense against DTs or something like that, but Sharp just knows everything. He knows the timing of when the Reaver is going to be out. He knows the entirety of the build. He knows how far ahead he is. He just starts that starport. He's going to have a Wraith out in time. And there's really not much Mini can do except for take this third base. Base a third. Hopes that Sharp over defends here. And then he can get into a decent position with this additional mining here. Deadly game here. Dangerous game played by Sharp, setting out those 2 tanks. Like he will send out Marines as well with the SCV. He's going to push everything back here really easily. That Zealot just about explodes as all the Marines and tanks target it at the same time. Looks like the Marines are starting to run out, though. He's going to have to focus on these Dragoons. There's a big Scarab. First Scarab looking very good there for Mini, but he is forced to back away. That Vulture there in the main, not able to do any damage at all. Nice hold there by Mini with that Dragoon that popped out. We're going to fly directly here into the main base. One Dragoon. Gonna start to deal with this Wraith. He does have to micro away from the Dragoon. Good shot with the Reaver. Gets 6 kills. Another great Scarab maybe. Oh, it does dud out. And he will pull away his workers now. Pretty good damage there for Mini. Mini getting himself slowly but surely back into this game. We'll see if he can defend against the Vulture harassment. Oh gosh, great timing here from Sharp. Gonna catch this first probe transfer, killing off so many workers here, dealing a crazy amount of damage for these first 3 Vultures. Great job there. Now Mini once again taking a hit to the economy. Can he recover from that? He's done a great job so far. But the situation is once again dire here. I know it doesn't feel like that much, but when you're already behind in the early game from losing some workers, any additional workers, it just hurts so much more. Your army's already going to be smaller. Do you continue to produce workers non-stop, or do you try to get this army going, because you know Sharp's going to push back pretty soon here? And he's just so aggressive with the Vultures and with the tank pushes, man. He is a very scary turn player to go up against, I'm sure. It's very hard to predict what he's going to do. I mean, if you're up against Light, it's tough to play against Light, of course, because he is just so solid. He never moves out when he's not supposed to. He always hits his timings. But what do you expect from Sharp, man? Like, there is no timing that I think Sharp is actually trying to hit. He's just going for whatever timing, whatever opening he can find. And this is like look at this. What is he doing right now? He's moving out at 85 supply, just heading straight across the map, going up towards the top left. All he saw was that his opponent's army was slightly out of position here. He's got the Wraith. He's got some mines in position as well. That mine almost connects there. He's on the high ground. And he's just going to siege up here. This is just unpredictable stuff from Sharp. I think Mini can handle it. He's got the additional shuttle here. And so Sharp will smartly move away to deal with this. Ooh, a great mine hit there. Wow. So much damage to all of those Dragoons. They're much more squishy for an upcoming fight, as long as it happens in the next 100-ish seconds as those shields regen. But yeah, Sharp, I mean, is a very unpredictable player. Now here comes 2 big shuttle drops here. Great Scarab drags, great mine drags there, excuse me. And a huge Scarab hit kills off tons of these tanks. He's driving in towards this natural here. Big repair there on the bunker. But these Dragoons are now out of tank range. Going to deal some more damage. Wow, that was a great trade for Mini. Just diving straight in on top of those retreating tanks. I think Sharp thought he was safe right as he arrived at the natural. Didn't get his units in order there, not expecting that full-on attack from Mini. Driving straight up into that natural, just dealing that damage. Another tank randomly out here on the map. I don't think this was dropped, actually. I think it just walked over here. Try and deal some some damage to this mineral line, but unfortunately, a single zealot gonna pick that off with the Reaver as backup. Sharp not gonna get any more damage done here. Great mine though. Some good mines so far from Sharp, leaving these out in good positions. I think he's gonna get another good mine hit here. Ooh. Okay. Looks like those Dragoons in the middle of the map survive for now, but here comes the Vultures gonna pick off the already damaged Dragoons here. Nicely done. Sharp doing excellent with these. As usual, as expected of him. And full transition now for Mini. Going into Templar play. Mass dropship, mass speed shuttle plus Templar are going to be the follow-up. Very normal transition from this type of early game. He's already got 4 bases up, so he has plenty of income to supplement this army, to build up huge quantities of gateway units and just throw them mercilessly into the Terran player. Looks like he's going to dive 2 shuttles into the main base now. Does he have some storm here? Looks like no, but 2 Reavers could potentially pick off this armory. It looks like he is focusing it right now. He goes after the armory. It did stop spinning there. I'm not sure if he canceled that upgrade or if it finished. Maybe he can pick off some of these supply depots as well. Looks like he's targeting them 2 by 2. Dealing as much damage in this main base as he can. He will be able to pick off a few more of these Goliaths as well. Not one more shot, but he dealt a lot of damage there. It looks like repair will come out. So we're going to keep those supply depots alive. There are the first Templars. Gotta defend those properly though, Mini. If Sharp has the opportunity, he will absolutely dive in there with his Vultures and snag those first few Templar as they pop out, as they start to gain that energy. Look at all those Templar, juicy Templar sitting with just a whole bunch of Zealots in the natural. Luckily, he does pop those up into a shuttle, so gonna keep those safe. But there are those few Vultures. We've seen it time and time again. He gets 2. Will not be able to pick off the 3rd. But a good pickup there for Sharp, trading a few cheap Vultures that have already used their mines for some very expensive tech units in the Templar. Second robotics facility has popped up. We'll be going fully into mass shuttle play here. And I think he may be able to break through Sharp, though this is pretty crazy. Whoa, huge storms on these groups of tanks. He drops another good storm on those SCVs as well. So much damage being done there, but Sharp does manage to hold on. Gonna repair up these tanks and continue to mine away there. Bunch of Dragoons and Zealots kind of just walking through mines in the middle of the map. That's not a good way to efficiently take on a Terran army. You really want to avoid any unnecessary mine hits. Of course, sometimes running through mines is going to be essential. You want to deal damage to an army, but oh, a bunch more Templar are going to go down here. One more does fall. 4 Templars being picked off. Sharp's so good at this. Feels like an essential part of his game plan against this style from Mini. You've got to get in there and start to pick off a few of those Templar as they pop out of the gateway. You got to get in there and not allow him to just bank, 10 freaking Templar in a bunch of shuttles and then spray down your army and really nullify your armor upgrades. As if you didn't know, Storm just does not care how upgraded your army is. It deals the same damage regardless. It's a great way to deal with heavily upgraded Terran units. But not if the vultures kill them first. EMP is also great. We see one science vessel out on the map now. Sharp toying with the idea of moving towards the center right. That might be the next base on his list to take. Few turrets coming up here. They're not going to be in time, though, it looks like, to deal with this triple drop. Triple drop flying straight into the natural. One of the shuttles dies instantly. Storms go down. A lot of SCVs on the retreat path end up going down. Some good storms on the army as well, but Sharp will clean this up without too much trouble. And that drop has now been repelled. I don't think it was enough damage, my personal opinion, to sort of even the odds here. But this could be huge. Sharp not leaving enough army supply in this third base. He's got his entire army together so that he can initiate this attack, but the moment the attack begins, Mini runs in here to the third base and deals a bunch of economic damage. So many of those SCVs were low from earlier storms that they're very easy pickings for the Zealots. In some cases just one-shotting those SCVs down. Now Sharp finally going to initiate this attack. But can he fight 140 supply versus 200? The upgrades will be instrumental, of course. The positioning also going to be incredibly important. Mini noticing this position is just too good on these bridges here. He's going to rotate to another location where he thinks his army will be more efficient. Takes this fight here over these tanks. Great D-Matrix there. Dealing with that initial storm, keeping that tank alive is massive, because it's very hard to clear this minefield with those tanks shelling down on you. I'm going to pick off those tanks and then move forward slowly with the Dragoons, and Observer picking off the mines now sees taking more damage than necessary in order to clear the mines and try to get this next attack going. Another dive by here with some of these shuttles. Just barely manages to make it through there. Maybe a target with the turrets there. Maybe he can target that down. No, he's not going to target it down. Big storm going on. A bunch of these SCVs, the retreating SCVs, get stormed, but only a few of them wind up going down. Another big storm there on some of these SCVs and the science vessel as well. One science vessel did fall during that fight, and Sharp drops down dangerously low in supply. 130. Still a fighting supply, still has a fighting chance here, but pretty far off from the supply you generally need to initiate a final push, some sort of killing blow against a Protoss player. You need to be near 160 supply in order to fight a 200 army. And he's trying to move forward to take this base, but I feel like this could be the turning point. Tons of storm on top of these very, very clumped tanks as Sharp tries to take this base. Gets overwhelmed by the Gateway army here. Another great storm on this group of units, dealing so much damage. The follow-up storm just crushing these tanks and Goliaths as they try to move forward. 87 supply now. Sharp has dropped so incredibly low. I think this could be it. Trying to take that base at this moment was a big mistake. He needed to be a little bit slower, a little bit more careful with this push as he moved towards the center right. But now Mini hopping back up very quickly towards 200 supply, whereas Sharp is slowly moving towards 100. And he's getting picked off more and more here. The storms are just deadly. He's trying to dodge, but he just keeps on storming over and over and over again. Finally going to lose some of these Templar there, but so painful for Sharp, who's still at 81 supply. Whereas Mini, more than 100 above that, is still adding on gateways. He's going to try and take bases on the Terran side of the map now. You can see that base in the bottom left. Maybe about to get taken over here by Mini. That would be very painful for Sharp indeed. This minefield gonna get stormed, actually. Mini just doesn't even care now, running all of his zealots into mines. There's only 3 tanks here. This is about to be GG. Mini takes this game solidly in the end. A scrappy game from Sharp, but that's it. GG. Sharp taps out, and Mini takes game number 4. Okay, so I didn't get my first choice, because I would have loved to see a Mini versus Jadon game, but we will have Action versus Mini here now. Mini up in the top left-hand corner. Action down here in the bottom left. Vertical spawns on this map. I cannot recall the name. Not gonna go back right now and look. It's not Polypoid, is it? No, it doesn't look like it. Wait, hold up. No, it is totally Polypoid. Is it not? If it's not Polypoid, it is a Polypoid ripoff. And I am totally confident saying that. No disrespect to the map makers. Polypoid is a fantastic map. There does need to be more interesting maps that kind of follow the same ideas: rotational symmetry, large main base, relatively tight choke at the natural. Got high ground 4th with a neutral or high ground 3rd base, which is a mineral only. All of these things are nice. They lead to some pretty balanced gameplay and plenty of replayability. I mean, what you're really looking for in a map. You don't want to have one style completely dominate and then people only play that one style, and it just sort of becomes like just boring, you know what I mean? But maps like Polypoid, maps like this, there's a variety of possibilities, a variety of styles that are available. You can play the normal, most natural gameplay, and you can defend pretty much everything as long as you spot it in time, as long as you know the correct response. Here we're gonna have Mini starting out with a gateway first. Sends that zealot in here. Take note of this positioning here by Action as well, by the way. Having the spawning pool there is not just a random thing here. That tiny little gap makes it so hard for Mini to come in and actually fight against these drones, because the drones can just easily right click onto that highest mineral patch, stack up, and surround and kill that zealot. So really smart play here by Action so far. He's dealing with these zealots in the front as well as the zealot in the main at the same time without losing any of his drones. Is exactly what you need to do in this situation. He's sending lings across the map now to put the pressure back onto Mini, and even sending his zealot that was in the natural all the way back home. He's not even gonna tuck it behind the minerals or anything like that. He knows how much trouble he's in right now, and that he desperately needs to hold here. He even throws down a shield battery. He's gonna fight with these lings here in the front. 2 zealots, maybe they can make it to the shield battery. Oh, barely, just barely makes it to the shield battery, but he cancels his forge and allows a bunch of lings into the main. That cancel of the building in the front was a little bit crazy here for Mini. He starts a cannon. Okay, he has a forge in the main, so maybe that was something else. Maybe a cybernetics core or something. But more lings have been produced here for Action, and he's going to go for a surround here. Just take this game over right now. Oh, no blocking. The fail there from Mini not getting the block off is going to cost him possibly this game, although all of the lings have been killed. Only the cannon goes down. A ton more lings have arrived, but the door has been closed here. There's still 4 zealots in the natural. 2 more cannons are being made. This gateway is getting low, and it will fall before the cannons are finished, it looks like. Getting so low, 20 HP. It does go down. These few lings are going to run into the main. But Mini has pretty much held here, and there's not much going on back at home for Action right now. He has very few drones. He built so many lings and only managed to kill a couple of cannons, that gateway as well, I guess. However, the cybernetics core is already finished, so not going to slow down the tech of Mini at all. He's going to go straight into that Stargate. A Hydralisk Den has started. Looks like the follow-up just going to be a straight Hydra bust from Action, who's first going to have to deal with these lings, or these zealots, excuse me, that are running across the map. Citadel as well. Oh, zealots are just going to head back home after being spotted. They perhaps just wanting to force a few additional lings here be produced, and he does manage to do that. This has slowed down Action's economy so much, actually. He would love to be producing a bunch of drones right now so that he can have a strong follow-up attack, but the Hydras are now popping. 2 cannons are already done. There's not a lot of space back here for additional cannons to be made, but it's not that bad. There are locations where cannons can be thrown down, and he gets a probe in the natural as well. Oh man, everything's been revealed here for Action. Mini is just moments away from closing this game out, I feel. He is so far ahead in every metric. A layer starts, but that's going to be instantly scouted here by Mini. He sees it. He doesn't see any additional hatches just yet, but there is one going down at the natural. He adds on 2 more cannons, and he knows 4 cannons should be enough here to hold on against the number of Hydras that have been produced, and Action's going to switch out of this play anyway. He's not going to commit completely to this bust. He's just going to transition here, try to get into a macro game, and that's probably not going to work, man. It is a very rough situation for a Zerg player to find themselves in. There's really not a whole lot to do here except for try to drone up as best he can. He's getting a Spire as well. Maybe a transition into Muta. If Mini's not expecting it, if Mini stops building Corsair completely and goes just for one massive attack. Look, he's putting it here behind. This is a position where you would generally see a sunken colony, so maybe Mini doesn't notice that that's a Spire. I think he does, though. The Spire gets a little bit bigger as it continues to grow, so I'm sure he clicked on that. We'll have to get a shot of Mini's main to see if he started producing Corsairs once again or not. Lings are out here in the middle of the map, but they have no idea that this attack is about to commence. Diving straight here into the natural. No, oh man, the Hydras get caught. Gonna have to run behind this wall in. Pull the drones as well. A bunch of Hydras went down there. I think if he just attacks into this third, he should be able to maybe just take this game. Diving in with the lings, not going to be a possibility there. There's 4 cannons. Not nearly enough lings to kill those off quickly. More Corsairs have been produced now. Action still hanging in here. Double cannon in the main. Mini taking no risks here. Dark Archon and an Archon being produced right away. He knows that as long as he holds off any trickery by the Zerg player, he should be fine. Scourge coming out now. And a run into the main base. Mini gonna go after the drones, trying to pick off as much as he can here. While Action attempts to react. Maybe we can get this Hydralisk Den too. Let's see. No, it looks like these are just going to be sacrificial now. Another Corsair flies into the main. I don't know where that was going, but it dies immediately. This Zealot here tucked away in the bottom corner. Being sneaky as hell. Mini throwing away a lot there. And I don't know how much he actually got. I think he might have picked off a couple of drones, but he doesn't have a third base or anything. He's not in the clear just yet. He has a good supply, but Action is still growing, and he saved the majority of his economy. And he's coming across the map now. Mini morphed his first couple of Templar into Storm, but it looks like, or into Archon, but it looks like he does have Storm at least. Storm is available for this next attack. I don't think Mini can actually break through here. This choke is so tight. That's Zealot gonna get a couple of kills. Will eventually be going down here. Not a bad play by Mini to just get the maximum value he can out of these few Zealots. More Zealots here, reaching the natural as well. He's going to block this ramp. But just running behind the minerals once again. I have to bring some Hydras back all the way back home just to deal with this. That's super frustrating. But it is what it is. He will eventually clean this up. Some Mutas are popping now. That has been spotted here by Mini. He knows exactly what's coming. He's got the cannons ready. He's got the Dark Archon in position. Triple cannon in the main. He will not be dying to a Ogre Zerg gamer play today. But can he secure a third base? That third base is going to become very necessary here shortly. Here comes the Muta. Okay, sending one Muta in. This is so smart. Action sending in the single Muta just to check things out. Doesn't run the risk of getting hit by a Maelstrom there. He doesn't see the Dark Archon, but he sees enough there in the natural to know for a fact he can't really dive in here and deal a whole lot of damage. He will go for a few probes though. One great Storm picks off the Scourge in this group and deals a bunch of damage to those Mutas, so gonna back off for now. Just 6 Muta, enough to one-shot the probes, but not enough to be a serious threat. Hardly enough to warrant a Dark Archon with Maelstrom upgrade as well. That's a bit of an overcommittal to the defense. But in Mini's defense, I guess he was far enough ahead for that to just be fine. Here's that Maelstrom. Now, all 6 of these Mutas will be going down. I know we're yelling about it right now, but it's not that big of a deal. Only 6 Mutas end up getting hit. Of course, it's always cool to see Maelstrom get used in a professional game. Oh, great pickoff there. Full energy Templar just gets sniped instantly. And the lurkers are now out, although very few in number at this point. And if Mini just moves out right now, he can just take this down, man. This is not a good position. Really not a good position here for Action to be fighting in. He needs to run those back home. That would have been so deadly had the moment those lurkers unburrowed, he just thrown down the Maelstrom on them and picked them off. Now they do manage to get back home, but they get picked off immediately. Mini just shoving his way forward. He has so many Storms banked up here. taking this fight easily against the waves of Hydra popping out of these hatcheries, and there's so many Dragoons left. A flank here by Action is not gonna be enough. GG is called, and Mini is victorious. He took a great lead there in the early game after defending those Ling attacks and Hydra bust, and he played a perfectly balanced late game, making sure that he couldn't be killed by anything sneaky by Action. Gets up into that final army and is prepared to just bust through the Zerg defense. Well played by Mini. He goes on to the next game. That's going to be Light, our final Terran player. That's coming up next, guys. Be right back. Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick apology here if you've noticed some drops in the overall video quality. I'm not sure what the cause of that is, if it's either Africa TV stream or my internet connection, but the Africa TV player tends to jump back and forth between qualities in order to give you a smooth streaming experience, so sometimes that quality is going to go down if the connection is not perfect. Is what it is. I do apologize. Try to keep it at the highest possible quality for you guys. Like, I have a Nexus first here for Mini in this Mini versus Light game here on Polypoid. Yes, it is the true Polypoid, not the faux Polypoid we saw in the last game. Mini, can he hold on against some aggression here from Light in the early game? No. That Light's gonna have to pull the SCVs here and try to block this Nexus. Try to kill this Nexus. It's really unplayable. Nearly unplayable as the Terran player. To just go against Nexus first and try to play a regular game against it. It's so hard. Your opponent gets such a huge advantage. It might be possible here. Maybe he's just going to throw down a command center of his own right now. That can be viable. Just go straight into Gaseous Fast Expand. It looks like he will. So not going to pull the boys this time. Just straight into Gasless Fast Expand. It's a little bit tough because look at this, the Nexus is already done. He's transferring his probes. He's gonna build the bunker. This is not a full commitment. He's just gonna try and force some probes off the line, try to deal a little damage here if he can, kill a probe or two. But if Mini is smart, and we know that Mini is smart, he's going to pull his probes back once his bunker's dead and just go into a regular game. Yeah, no need to pull the probes all the way. He's just going to juke around with these zealots, get his first Dragoon. Now, he's going to be completely fine. Light did everything that he could while going for his command center first, but no damage was dealt. And he is going to have a slight advantage here in the early game. Those probes already building up here. Non-stop probe production off of 2 Nexus. It gives you just a crazy amount of saturation in the early game. There's Light now just barely finishing off his own command center. Be a little ways behind here. As well as in the tank, his factory's coming down even after the robotics facility of his opponent. Mini looking good in a bunch of different ways here. And we'll see what he decides to do in terms of his follow-up to this play. He has all the options in the world, really. He could take an expansion immediately. He knows he's not going to be under any real pressure here for quite a long time. He can go straight into a observer, scout his opponent. He can get Reaver here. He could get a second barracks and just or another second gateway, excuse me, and just pump out a ton of dragoons. He could go into DT drop. He can do all kinds of different stuff. To base carrier, to base arbiter. It's up to Light to figure out what's going on here, and he's poking a little bit with his marines, but now he's got to get into that bunker. Keep himself safe while he waits for that first tank to pop out. It will be Reaver here from Mini. Not an unexpected play. Pretty standard follow-up. Gonna keep him very safe. He can also take a Nexus with this and just stay on 2 gateways, and he should be able to defend any sort of early push from Light with that Reaver, plus constant production from his 2 gate. So a very nice safe play here. Of course, observatory, next building being thrown down, and it appears he's planning to take the Nexus in the center right hand location. He's just looking around, making sure that no additional command center was grabbed. Oh, pylon there as well. Thought that was a Nexus for a second, but a pylon going down, just gonna block a potential third from Light at the 12 o'clock. Giving himself some vision as well. He's gonna see this dropship. Oh, this is a huge scout for Mini. He sees the dropship, and he's gonna get some kills here with his Reaver. Oh man, all the SCVs being sent back. I'm surprised he didn't go for a Scarab on that. A huge line of SCVs. You know they're gonna be stacked up as they head back to mining there, but he can come in and get some more kills here. Does pick off a tank. Will deal some more damage to the second tank, and he's gonna be able to finish this off as well. Wow. A Wraith pops out. The drop went down in Mini's base. I'm not sure how much damage was done there, but he's not paying attention to his Wraith. Finally, now gonna send the Wraith in. Try to kill some more, or try to kill that shuttle, and then of course the Reaver will be next. More and more SCVs going down here. 10 kill Reaver going after the tank. Can he actually get one more shot? Oh, he gets it. He gets the shot off. That's crazy. Kills that tank. Now he can just focus down these SCVs. Going after the SCV. Oh my god, the juggling here from Light is pretty freaking legit. Pulling the SCVs back. He's going to keep himself alive here, but so many SCVs have fallen. Mini is just out of control. Yeah, focusing down these SCVs. One tank finally does pop out, but this is pretty much a foregone conclusion here. Yeah, only one Marine was in there. You can just go after this from the low ground here. Going after the tank. Picks it off. That tank going down. Really the nail in the coffin. GG. Light taps out. Mini takes another game. 3 kills to his name. Finishing off the final Terran player. Oof. Terran going down early here in our first week of KCM. The history repeating itself. That is rough. Sharp and Light barracks. Better luck next time, guys. All we've got left now is Shine, our final Zerg player. Let's see if he can take a game off of Mini. I doubt that Shine can take down both Mini and Snow, so likely we're going to have a Protoss win in our first week of KCM, but I don't want to call it too soon. Let's see what Shine has for us. Let's jump into our next game, guys. Okay. Shine now versus Mini. We are on Monopoly, the triangular map. Big old base in the center, that island base in the center. A unique feature of this 3-player map. Mini gonna start off with a gateway in the front. Planning to put some pressure here on the Shine. Shine, whole bag of builds here. Let's see what he can bring out against Mini. I feel like Mini has an even bigger reputation as an innovator in this matchup. But Shine is certainly an unpredictable player. He brings out some very interesting takes on the match. I hope he doesn't play standard here, because I just don't think that he can win in a standard game versus Mini. Mini is gonna make the game crazy. He's gonna hit you with some weird timings that you're not expecting. He's gonna get away with ridiculous greed here in the early game, as he always does. Even Action wasn't able to punish him with his early Ling, so I doubt that Shine will be able to punish with his own sort of early attack. First Zealot is here. Lings are in the egg, ready to go. The positioning on the spawning pool not as good as against Action, so you can see a lot more micro has to take place for Shine to prevent himself from losing any of these drones. Great pullback there with the probe, keeping it alive forever. And a second Zealot is already here. This first Zealot has hardly been damaged. A couple of Lings have already been picked off as well. So very painful start here to this hold for Shine. Gonna take him a while to clean out these Zealots and probe. He's trying to get in here on a good angle, but doesn't manage it. Too many Lings on the left side there, not enough on the right. And back at home, Mini is already completely sealed up here in his natural base. Good surround finally comes for Shine. He clears out that little Zealot force. Hydralis Den immediately here. Not sure if the vision was completely gone for Mini when that was thrown down. I certainly hope so for Shine's sake. Now, what is he going to do with this Hydralis Den on just 2 base? He has the layer already. It's going to be a Lurker drop, guys. I'm calling it right now. Lurker drop into the main will be the play here. Mini has his Nexus down. He's got his cannons in position. His Zealots are ready to fight back. Hold any sort of crazy Ling attack in the front, but will he be prepared for this Lurker play? Of course, I'm not 100% sure that it will be Lurker, but I've got the feeling that Lurker is coming here. Only 1 drone at the natural. This is such a crazy play from Shine. This is exactly what I wanted to see out of him. We'll see if it ends up paying off. If it ends up working out, he's got to be careful not to allow any probe to reach this natural. He has to prevent the scout here, or Mini will just throw down a bunch of his he'll throw down a bunch of cannons in his own main. Hydras are spotted. I think he's gonna run on back home right away here. No spot of that on that layer though, so he doesn't know about the layer. That's very important. The layer has not been scouted. He sees Hydra, but he doesn't see layer. Stargate is pumping away. Drop is probably just about ready here. Yes, it is, and he's gonna start to load up Hydras and drop them into the main base. Lings are at the front. Lurkers are being morphed. It is a Lurker drop. I called it. Couple of Lurkers morphing there in the main. Lings being loaded up as well. Gonna drop here. He's ready for the Corsair. Oh, double cannon in the main though. He's got to get in here. He's gonna wait for the Lurker, I feel. Is it gonna be in time? Lurker's running into the main. Can he actually deny these cannons? He's got to stop these cannons. Cannon being surrounded. He goes for the cannon. Huge hits on those probes as well. Tons of probes end up going down. These lurkers going to deal with every single probe here in the main. Beautiful play from Shine. Zealots coming across the map. Does he have enough to deal with this Zealot counter attack? I think he does. A few Lings and Hydra are ready to go here. Uh-oh, he is supply blocked though. Does he have anything to help to fight here against these Zealots? He gets to the ramp. The ramp is huge. Gonna make a big difference here against these Zealots. Zealots who are charging up the ramp, dealing with all of the Lings. I think he's got +1 finished. He deals with those Zealots, but another Overlord does go down. Overlord running forward there rather than back is gonna get Shine supply blocked once again. 27 of 10. A Reaver is out. He needs an Observer here, otherwise he won't be able to deal with that pesky lurker in the main. Double lurker in the main, excuse me. There's the Reaver dealing its damage, picking off those Lings easily. And the robotics support bay goes down. He's gonna try to do a drop here on the natural. Unfortunately for him though, plenty of cannons are ready to go here, and the Reaver should be enough to deal with this lurker on high ground. Gonna deal a bunch of damage to this Reaver. Ooh, can he actually? Oh, can he see it? Yes, he can see it. Oh, he used the probe actually. The probe attacking his own probe to deal the splash damage on this lurker. That was a very, very clutch play. Like, the Observer is now out. Can he get this Reaver shot to connect? Both players are now supply blocked. A crazy game. Overlord dies in that main, so 1 base versus 2. Robotics is on the way. He's gonna try to play a Corsair versus Corsair Reaver game here versus Shine. Shine has like pretty much no supply here in the in drones. He's got everything in these Hydras right now. Maybe going for Burrow might be a good idea against this play, because if you just pick off one single shuttle, you can absolutely win this game. That's all that Mini has. He's actually going to grab a Spire here, try to get a couple of Scourge out, pick off that shuttle. That could easily win the game as well. He has Overlord speed plus drop, so taking the main base is going to be very hard for Mini, even though he does have those defenses. Oh, he catches the shuttle. Oh, it's over the high ground. He can't hit it. That shuttle with just 64 HP is going to make it here towards that main. And I think he can get this drop off. Bunch of Hydras running here into the main. He's got to deal with this perfectly. Otherwise, he could end up losing here. Pulling all of the drones away. Diving straight on top of the shuttle. He picks that off. But the 2 Hydras, 2 clumped up together, get annihilated there. We have a few mutas popping out. No, just Scourge. Scourge only. Oh, one of the eggs does go down. Gonna chase away the Corsairs at least, but looks like this Spire will end up going down. The Reaver does fall. Trade there. Spire for Reaver. Couple of mutas do pop out, and there's really not much left here for Mini right now. He's got almost no Corsairs. There's still quite a few Scourge that just popped out because Shine dumped the remainder of his gas into those at the last moment before his Spire went down. Another shuttle is out. The main base is being rebuilt here, but I think Mini can deny that with a few Scourge and his 2 mutas. Just needs to pick off that one building cannon right now. He should be fine. There's the Scourge! Whoa, where's the Scourge going? Scourge. Oh, he gets it. But the drop off here on the high ground is pretty strong. Reaver dealing a lot of damage. One more shot. He does finish that off. 5 kill on that Reaver. Looks like he does get it. Wait. Oh, the miss shot. The miss shot on that freaking Hydra. He got like 3 miss shots there. Just snaps that Hydra the moment it pops out. Nicely done. Finally does get that Reaver and keeps the remainder of his drones alive. My god, that was close. Miss shot is so annoying sometimes, man. It is crazy how frustrating that must be. Running your Hydra plus Ling up that ramp, and 5 HP Reaver manages to survive 3 shots from the Hydra. Oh man, how frustrating. But he does eventually get it. He does pick that off. Now speed is done for the shuttle. 3 overlords are here. He's gonna load up. Gonna get in here and actually end this game. 2 Corsairs with a Reaver and a shuttle. I think there's a couple of Zealots in there as well. 2 cannons are on the way here in the main. This is a very low number of units. We're such a low economic game right now. He's going right up here, but the 2 lurkers are right beside each other. The Reaver shot was way too good. That Reaver shot just crushes those 2 lurkers. He picks off the shuttle, but that's all he's gonna get for the cost of his army. That's rough, man. Running up those lurkers seemed like just the wrong play, considering the position of that Reaver. You just can't take 2 shots, or you just can't take a double hit there from the Reaver on your lurker. You can't get hit by get both your lurkers hit by 1 Reaver shot. It's too cost efficient for the Protoss player. Your lurkers are just, they're such expensive units in these low economic situations that you got to get more value out of them. You need to get probes. You need to deal damage to those Zealots. You can't allow them to just get crushed before they even burrow. That's too much. And now Shine, I think he's in a really tough position here because he's on 2 base versus 2 base. He could try to drop and take the center or something like that. He could try to go for burrow. Looks like the option here instead is going to be a quick switch into Muta. He knows there's no more Corsairs left, or at least there's only those 2 that were built earlier by Mini, so maybe he can build enough Mutas up here where he can just run this army over and then take a 3rd base freely, going straight for the shuttle. But this Reaver gets too many shots off, man. He got like 3 shots with the Reaver on his Hydras there and wins that fight easily. Now the Mutas are going to be chasing down this shuttle, not going to be able to catch it. And instead, he's just going to go for the win here. Ogrezer Gamer flying into the main base. There's only 1 Dragoon back at home. All the rest are on their way. 2nd Dragoon has arrived. He's going to go after all of the cannon, but now he can fight this Dragoon straight up. The drop back in from Mini could be the decider here. He's going to go after it. Oh, he gets the shuttle without dropping the Reaver. That's huge. Tons of probes going down here. The Dragoons are glitching all over these buildings here, not able to deal with the Mutas effectively. This is a lot of Mutas, man. 11 Mutas, now 10, can fight against low numbers of Dragoons. And if the Dragoons are constantly split up like this, it's pretty simple to micro against them. Another shuttle flying into the main. Another Reaver here. Huge shot. 5 kill Reaver instantly. I think that Shine may have just given up here. He's dealing with a lot right now in the main base. He does give up. GG. Mini takes that game and this series. Protoss is victorious. What a wild game to end the night on. Shine does not disappoint. Mini as well, playing an incredibly scrappy game, able to keep himself alive for just an incredible amount of time. So fun to see these players on one base battling back and forth. It's just a crazy situation there. It's something that you barely, almost never see, especially on ladder, or if you're watching regular professional matches. People just don't play like that anymore, and I think it's kind of a shame. That's why it's nice to have Shine in the mix. He adds a bit of that flavor, man, and unfortunately it wasn't enough to take down Mini, but it was a heck of a lot of fun to watch. That's it for this week of KCM, guys. Let's take a look at our results now. We got our point ranking system here. For those of you who are new to the channel, who haven't seen the way KCM works before, of course, we don't have any mirror matchups. Each team is of its own race. Our Terran team went out first this week. All the players were eliminated. They earn 0 points on the week. Zerg was eliminated second, and Protoss was victorious. So Zerg takes home 1 point for their team. Protoss takes home 2 points, and the prize money, I believe it is about $700 US. I haven't checked the Korean to US exchange rate for a little while, but I believe that's about where we're at. I also haven't checked to see if the prize pool has changed from this season, or to this season from the last. And I will update you if any changes do occur. Guys, thank you so much for watching this week of KCM. My name is SaiyanSC. Definitely hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Some of our videos are getting more and more views, which is amazing to see, but not too many of you are actually hitting that subscribe button. Like maybe 20% of you have subscribed. I'd really like to see those numbers go up. Maybe we can get some get to 1,000 subs. That would be awesome. Then I could start to post things as well on YouTube. I'm thinking about starting my own tournament soon as well. More news on that in the future, but first, guys, hit that sub button and bring that news directly to you. If you want direct contact with me, you want to talk to me, you want to find out about what's going on, you can join the Discord channel. You can get all the information from me directly, or you can join Patreon to support. Guys, thank you so much to all the Patreon supporters. I know I haven't been releasing videos as frequently, but that is going to change here. I am better now. I was feeling pretty bad last week, but everything is good now. So forward to more content coming soon. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video.